In this video, we are going to be doing questions related to matrices. So, some of these questions are going to be finding the determinant for a 2x2 and 3x3 matrices and solving for the value of x in a matrices. So first, let's learn how to find the determinant of a 2x2 matrix. So this is A, this is B, this is C, and this is D. Right, okay. So I always like to do this. I think this is the breast cancer awareness symbol. So it's kind of similar. So this is, the value translates to A times B minus C times B. And this value is wrong. This is A times D. Okay. So yeah, that's how you find the determinant. So let's do our first question. So negative 5 times 9 minus negative 6 times 8, or negative 8 times 6. So this goes to negative 45 minus negative 48, which equals 3. So this is our answer. Next one. So negative 1 times negative 1 minus negative 1 times 1. Okay, now we need to multiply and simplify everything out. So 1 minus negative 1, so 1 plus 1, so 2. And now for the determinant of a 3x3 matrix. So this is where it gets hard. So let me do an example. I'll do it right here. Actually, let's do Greek symbols, because Greek symbols are cooler. So I'll just start with alpha, beta, delta, and gamma. Okay, so alpha, beta, gamma, delta, and then epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, or theta, and iota, right? So then, so what I like to do is this: duplicate, then there's lines that go through like this. So give me 1 second. I need to do all the colors. Okay, so now what these do is, let me take, okay, so basically alpha, epsilon, and iota alpha times epsilon times iota can multiply to this the pink highlight. So that gets added to beta times zeta times eta plus, and then time for the yellow highlight, times gamma multiplied by delta multiplied by theta, right? And now we have that parentheses done. We close this with brackets, and then you might be asking, well, what about the other highlighted lines? Now we subtract and then do the same thing again, but this time with the other set of highlighted lines. So let's start. So we would have eta multiplied by epsilon multiplied by gamma. And then theta multiplied by zeta, and alpha. And then the last one is iota times delta times beta. Okay, now you know the basic formula. Yeah, so let's do our first example question. So obviously here it'd be obviously here it'd be 1, let's do different color. 1, -4, 7, -2, 5, -8. So we have 1 times 5 times 9. That's 45. And then for our next set, we have -2 times -6 times 7, which equals 84, plus 3 times -4 times -8. So 3 times -4 is -12, and the -12 multiplied by -8 is 96. Minus 7 times 5 times 3, which is 105. And then -8 times -6 is 48. And then 4 times 2 is 8. Oh, sorry. 4 times 2 is 8, and then 8 times 9 is 72. So I'm just going to fact check this really quick on my calculator. Give me 1 second. Yeah. So that in the end does equal 0. So we did get a good answer in the end. Just fact checking to make sure. I don't want to put any wrong information. Okay, now we can work on solving some of these questions. So obviously 5 times 2 is 10, minus 3 times x, so 3x equals 6. Negative 3x equals 6 minus 10. Negative 3x. Hold on. Oh yeah, this should be positive because my 2 negatives make a positive. So plus 3x, then negative 3x equals, positive 3x equals -4. Then x equals -4/3. next question. So we have x squared minus 3x equals 4. X squared minus 3x minus negative 4 equals 0. And then this factors to x minus 4x plus 1. So x equals 4 comma negative 1. Time for this question. Okay, so let's put these numbers down. And now let's start. So 4 times 0 times negative 1 is negative 4. 3 times 1 times negative 3 is negative 9. And then 0 minus 0, because 0 times 0 times negative 3. And then 4 times 1 times x. And then 3 times 2 is 6. 6 times negative 1 is negative 6. That equals 5. Simplifying everything down, we have negative 13 minus 4x plus 6 equals 5. Negative 4x minus 7 equals 5. Negative 4x equals 12. And x equals negative 3. And that is our second to last question. Now let's move on to the last one. This one's kind of hard. So 2x squared So 2x squared. So let's think about the coefficients, right? So 4 times 2 is 8, and then 8 times 2 is 16. So 16x squared plus 3 times x, so 3x. And then since it's 0, we don't have to write anything. Minus 3 times 4 times negative 1, which is negative 12. And then this is just 0 plus 0 plus 0. Right, so in the end, we'd get 16x squared plus 3x is 12 plus 49x plus 47. Then this equals 16x squared minus 46x minus 35 equals 0. This translates to 8x minus 5 is 2x plus 7. And then solving for this, we get x equals 5 over 8, comma, negative 7 over 2. And that is our last question. Thank you for watching, and we're going over Kramer's rule in the next video.